I've been using the word delusional a lot recently to describe some people and companies, and it's not because I think the word's become watered down and I'm using it loosely. It's because I legitimately think more and more people are being infected with some brain rot that is making them more and more delusional and slipping deeper into lunacy. And I'd like to talk about one of the most maliciously stupid people on the planet. His name's Billy McFarland, and if that name and this picture look familiar to you, it's because this is the goober behind Fyre Festival, one of the most infamous scams of all time. I probably don't need to explain what that was. I'm sure all of you have seen the massive documentary about it, but I'll just go ahead and pull Billy's pants down and hit you with the truth. Fyre Festival was this over-promised event where it was called like the Coachella in the Bahamas. There was supposed to be a ton of celebrity performers, music, decadent food, just a glamorous, luxurious, expensive event that when it finally rolled around turned out to be worse than a Boy Scout camping adventure. People showed up after paying $1,500 up to $12,000 to be there, only to find the accommodations were FEMA tents and packaged sandwiches, and also no musical performers that they were promised. It was a complete joke. It was a scam. He defrauded many people, and Billy McFarland actually served 4 years in prison. He was originally sentenced to 6 years in 2018, but he served 4 and he's currently out of prison right now. And he is $26 million in debt because he has to repay all the victims, and he's hatched a genius idea on how to make that money back. He's hosting another Fyre Festival. I shit you not. I'm not making this up. I'm actually starting to believe in those tinfoil condom conspiracies about the government putting shungite and fluoride and 5G Wi-Fi signals in our toothpaste that are scrambling our noodles. Because that is the only thing that can explain this man's brain. His brain is this stinky soup of scams and bad ideas. Billy McFarland, being fresh out of prison, has openly stated that he is going to be throwing another festival. This time it's called Pirate. I'm not even making that up. He is calling it Pirate, a name that is synonymous with stealing. I mean, who remembers you wouldn't download a car? Anti-piracy shit. The whole idea behind pirates is stealing. Stealing the booty. And in this case, stealing your money for, once again, a remote island extravaganza. Billy McFarland has learned nothing. He went to jail for this same fucking thing, and he's doing it again. That is poetic. I couldn't imagine a character being written this stupid. No one would believe it. He is actually a real-life version of Ed from Ed, Edd n Eddy, but instead of just saying buttered toast, the only thing that runs through this guy's absolutely damaged cranium is party. And he's not even good at partying. He doesn't even successfully have a party, ever. He's so fucking horrible at partying that he goes to jail when he tries. It blows my mind. I've watched 2 interviews of his since being fresh out of prison, and he is observably stupid. Listening to Billy McFarland defend himself and speak publicly is like listening to someone fart through a walkie-talkie for 30 minutes. It's just garbled nonsense that leaves his mouth. I probably can't show any of the interview clips, but here's one of the quotes from one of them. I was talking to somebody yesterday and they're like, you can crawl in a hole and die, or you can go and try to do something and just like not promise any results, McFarland said. You absolute goofball. He seems to believe that the reason he got spanked by the legal process is because he promised things that he wasn't able to deliver on. That's only a small component of it. It is so much more than that. You maliciously defrauded people, took $26 million, and delivered nothing. So by throwing this festival again and not promising anything, if you still just have people show up to a vacant, empty place to stand in sand for days, you're still scamming them, even if you didn't promise that fucking Cardi B's gonna perform or whatever. Yeah, like, I don't know why that's such a hard concept for him to understand. He's selling a festival, but what he delivered is basically a fucking pile of sand for people to stand in for a wildly high price. This would be like if I made a game and I charged $60 for it, like a AAA title, and then you bought the game, but the only thing there was just a completely empty, open terrain, Unity asset flip. There's nothing in it. You're in a giant empty bubble. Like, yeah, technically this is a game. You bought it, and now you're in that game. But you still got fucking scammed by me because there's really nothing there when you went under the assumption that there would be. Just let me rub your nose in this one more time. McFarland insists it's not a festival. It features a slew of influencers and creators. The purported tropical experience will include virtual reality technology that the company says will allow users to participate and control what happens on the island in real time from home. Absolutely no shot. Who does this guy think he is? Tony Stark? Like, what do you mean? You already made this technology? You have an entire development studio behind you that made a virtual reality experience to control what happens on the island in real time? You slimy salamander, you couldn't deliver more than a handful of deli meat sandwiches to an island. How the fuck is anyone supposed to believe that you're going to deliver a virtual reality experience on an island and this time around it won't be a disaster? When you're promised... Well, sorry, I won't use the P word. That's blasphemy around these parts when it comes to Billy McFarland now. How are you insinuating that this might actually happen without being a complete catastrophe? I also can't believe he's making the bold-faced lie about influencers and creators signing on for this. There is no way. If any influencer or creator actually ties their name to this, it's career suicide. This is a bigger scam than CryptoZoo with Logan Paul. No one would recover from the pushback from their audience. They would be laughed off the internet if they actually tried promoting Pirate Festival here. There's just no way he has any connections to anyone, and there's no way anyone would actually sign on to this. If I'm wrong about that, and there actually is creators that sign on to this, you should know never to trust those people again going forward. That would be a massive red flag. That's a goddamn villain at that point. You probably don't even need to read the rest of this here, but I'll still put it on screen anyway. Former employees and people that were tight with Fyre Festival are warning about Billy, saying Billy's still Billy, he's using different words but selling the same thing. Similarities are there around the vague, mysterious promotion. Pirate appears to be an exercise in smoke and mirrors, buzzword and empty promises of lavish trips to the Bahamas. It's just everyone coming out to letting people know what should be obvious. Don't put money into Billy McFarland or anything he dribbles out of his asshole. You're just asking to lose it. If you're considering getting tickets to Pirate Festival or investing, then I would strongly recommend seeking psychiatric evaluation for what's gone so awry in your life to lead you to making such recklessly awful financial decisions. That wad of cash that you're considering giving to Billy McFarland and his production, I would highly encourage you to take it and just put it in your trash can, and then light the trash can on fire. That's a better use of it than giving it to Billy McFarland. Oh yeah, I even forgot to mention, there's a treasure hunt that he's putting on as well with Pirate. So when you go to their website, it's all about this treasure hunt. So it's join the crew, a pirate is someone who turns the impossible into adventure. That's a pretty wild play on piracy, unless we're just talking about One Piece. Usually, pirate refers to, once again, stealing. And I guess treasure hunting. But usually at the expense of someone. Right now, the treasure Billy McFarland is hunting for is a way out of $26 million in debt. And do you want to be his lifeline, his little life raft to get the fuck out of there? I certainly hope not. He doesn't deserve it. This idea is bad, so bad, that it should be considered criminal activity that he's even considering it and looking to actually put it on. Billy McFarland is one of the biggest fraudsters in history, and he is looking to do it again. I guess he wasn't happy with being just one of the biggest fraudsters. He wants to be the biggest fraudster. So he's hoping lightning strikes twice with yet another bogus festival full of dog shit, empty promises, and under-delivering. To put it lightly, it didn't deliver at all. It wasn't under-delivering. It just never even came close to anything that he talked about. But this time around, he's not making huge promises, and he's not on a strict deadline, so he's saying it's going to be totally different. Which it won't be. There's absolutely no chance. So yeah, I just thought this was a pretty wacky story I wanted to share. That's about it. So yeah.